this is the first time it ain't come up in the chat yet. That actually saw something that says there it is. That's the first time I've seen that anywhere.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So we're gonna give you your first time. Congratulations. Good job. All proud of you.
Oh, so exciting.
So, hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Graded Point Live. We have a Mr. Nick Rekieta here. He's here to answer for the crimes of breaking his parole.
Hey, thanks for having me, even though it is under duress.
Well, this is just a hearing to determine, if it was justifiable. That's all we're saying. Gotta make sure, because apparently John Kelly and the Comic Book Hut filed, grievances against you. To say that you broke parole. Is either parole or quarantine. I can't figure out which one's which.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, it doesn't matter, right? Hey, at this point, you could get out of jail for breaking, to get out of quarantine. So,
yeah, pretty much. Also, judges are rejecting the sending of people to jail in some states, at least. Go Texas. Go Texas for slapping down that district court judge who sent the salon owner to jail. And then the Supreme Court comes out and is like, nah, fam. Nope. No.
Like,
you don't get to do that.
Yeah. I loved her interview too, because they said, well, she's non-essential. She said, no, my work is essential because I have to feed my family.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I think we can all agree, as we all look like shaggy morons now, I'm sure, that barbers and hairstylists are essential. I mean, we have to look at these other people every day, even if you don't care about yourself. You have to go out in public and see all the other miscreant mongrels running around.
Or, you could just be like me and just shave your whole head off every once in a while.
Yeah, just shave it off.
Yeah.
well, that's what I do, but
My
I'm fine.
mom offered to cut my hair, and I thought about that, and I'm like, no.
I told my dad, I said, if because he needs a haircut, and I said, dude, if things keep going on, you're gonna look like a member of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's just got gray hair and it just keeps going. It's getting a little longer every day. Seems like, so.
I issued haircuts for my family on the grounds that I didn't want to get mad at them if they fucked up my hair.
That's a good, yeah. That's a good way to be.
My mom only knows how to do one haircut, and it's buzzed all off. It's like, yeah, I'll do the front with scissors the way you like it. No, you won't. Then in like 3 weeks, when everything opens up again, I'll have to pay to have it cut correctly.
Well, imagine if you're Piper. Remember the last time she got a haircut? She got a new person, and they're like, "Oh, I just can't wait to cut your hair." Yeah, she cut her hair all right. Like,
There's your sign.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got to read Bear's super chat from earlier. Here we go. I don't know if you knew this, Nick, but Brent Spiner is 18 and a quarter inches.
Oh. I had no idea.
Yeah. There's a little behind the scenes, Lord. There's another channel name. The channel name is Matt Wenger, but they do a show called The Wingcast, and they started looking into this woman named Gail Schuler.
Hey, I came back just in time.
Yeah, and she's
special.
She's special. Like, she has her own Wikia, right? And on the Wikia, it said that she is the Empress of Earth. What was the other one?
Head of the Gale.
Hail of the Church of Gale. That's what
Church of Gale and Walmart employee.
And Walmart employee. So,
yes. What better ground to recruit devotees?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's written books about her marriage to Brent Spiner.
And Vladimir Putin.
She's married to Brent Spiner and Vladimir Putin and apparently 5 other individuals.
So she's a filthy polygamist.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, it's her own church. She can do what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've heard of this lady, but I don't remember. Like, I think it was just in passing. But please carry on.
Yeah.
I'm 18 and a quarter inches interested.
Yeah. And she has, in one of her books, she has a reason why in Star Trek: The Next Generation why they had to change. Remember the cat Spot?
Oh gosh.
In Star Trek, I didn't watch enough Star Trek: The Next Generation to know the cat. Sorry.
Well, the cat, Data's cat, if you remember anything about it.
Okay.
Data had a cat.
And apparently, at one point, they had a cat that was a different cat, and then they had to change the cat because apparently Brent Spiner had relations with the previous cat.
Oh.
18 and a half You know.
Yeah.
Somehow the cat survived 18
Yeah.
and a
So the
quarter
cat survived
inches.
all that,
But
and then would not be around Brent Spiner anymore, so they had to get another cat.
I bet that cat's digestion was never the same.
I would imagine not.
It's that's
A lot
horrifying.
more space in it though.
Yeah.
man, Berserker's just like, tell him everything. All of it.
We can now store D batteries in Brent Spiner's cat.
Oh
Oof.
man, that's great. So, but yeah, we were, like I said, we were talking a little bit before we got on, and we were talking about the different things that you've been going. One thing I've been curious about, as I've been checking your show out here and there, is that tell me what's up with the Ronversations.
The Ronversations?
Ronversations. Yeah, there you go. The Ronversations. Yeah.
Well, a couple things are up. The newest development is that they're basically done in their original form because Ron got removed from Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was permanently suspended. I hope people understand. I had nothing to do with it and wanted nothing more than Ron to keep his Twitter account for as long as possible because it was a function of math and time as to when Ron would lash out and contact me again. So I only had to wait for anything funny to happen, and I would suddenly get a DM from Ron, and thus would start another episode of Ronversations. But what they were this thing. Ron messaged me, and the first time Ron messaged me was after I voiced my opinions about Vic not publicly fighting back at all. Which is my opinion, and some people can take umbrage or disagree with how much he fought back or should or whatever, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. My opinion at that time especially was that Vic needed to come out and let his supporters know more publicly that he was with them and that he was fighting for himself as much as they were fighting for him. That was the gist of it. And now add like 8 shots of whiskey what I just said, and it came out maybe a little bit louder.
And I believe you're also gaming too at the time, right? It wasn't like your regular show.
It started on the regular show a little bit, and then it migrated to my Twitch gaming show.
Gotcha.
And let's not forget. I will throw all of the caveats in there. I was also fighting Ornstein and Smug on Dark Souls. Which is a notoriously frustrating encounter.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So that all came out, and I was very, very angry at the game, and that probably translated to my description. But anyway, so after that, this is why I lost the case. Yes, thank you, Corona. After that, Ron sent me a message like the next morning, because some of the clips very quickly went around to people who don't like me, and they were all cheering. I don't know why, but they were all cheering about this. I think they thought that Vic had spurned me or something, something along those lines, which is not actually true. But they, for a while, they're like, yes, Vic is going to finally denounce the evil Nick and admit to all of his wrongdoings and go back to good boy school and die like he was supposed to. That was they're very excited for that to happen, which of course it didn't. But Ron sent me a message, and it was a very taunting message. And so I responded back and forth, and that started Ronversations. So he would, whenever something would happen, something would trigger him. He would send me a message, and then we'd spend a couple days just trading private messages on Twitter, and then I would read them to the audience. And it was great. It was so much fun. And now it's gone. It's dead like Old Yeller.
Until he gets another account.
Yeah. Well, and to give, I guess, a further update on it, we may not have to wait for anything like that, because Ron is allegedly on the Kiwi farms, and Ron is allegedly going to start doing videos explaining all the places where I quote unquote lied. And so I don't even need to wait for him to talk to me anymore, because he'll just talk to everybody, and it'll be great. God, it'll be funny.
Yeah.
and then you'll have content because you can EFAP that. You know.
I think so.
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me what that means?
It's where you are really into something on the internet, and you get a little excited. And no, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. That was a joke on the FAP.
Basically, I don't know the exact acronym or anything.
It's every frame a pause.
There you go. Yeah. That's essentially like we do sometimes when we're watching a video. And we're like, wait, pause, stop.
So we can yell at it.
Yeah,
and then,
yell at it
without yelling over it.
Right.
Some people go overboard. Like, what's it? That guy. What's his name? I mean, he's cool. I like his content, but Mahler, he can go like 13 hours EFAP.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have an hour or hour and a half video, for one, I'll tell you guys what I'm slogging through right now. Do you guys are any of you familiar with the adult film industry?
Yes.
No, possibly.
I mean, there's.
Why not? I've said that so fast.
Yeah.
I'd like to plead the fifth.
Okay, so certainly none of you have heard of a certain actress by the name of Mercedes Carrera.
Oh, no. Yeah.
He was friends.
Yeah. Piper was friends with her for.
Wait, one of you was friends with her?
I was.
Yeah, she was.
So you know about her current situation, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she did a jailhouse interview the other day. And it's an hour-long interview with some weird guy. What's his name? Louis B. Who I don't know if he's someone who knows her or whatever, but I think he's from New York. Anyway, so I'm listening through the jailhouse interview of Mercedes Carrera, which is it's an hour long, and yeah, if I had to pause every time she said something weird, it would take it would take several hours to get through. So, but yeah, that's one thing I'm working on. I've been quietly following that case because it's an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
But she was pretty active in the right wing side of YouTube for a while. She was going on shows like the Kill Stream and stuff like that, and she was pro Gamergate.
Yep.
And she's kind of into the whole conspiracy side of things. So I'm waiting for some conclusions, but let's just say her legal case is not looking good for her at all.
Yeah.
There was
That's why I said we were friends. Like we were friends. We were even like talking about like meeting up and some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then she disappeared, and that's when I found out, like, oh, that's why I can't get a hold of her.
Hey,
yeah.
I can see you right now.
Memory, wasn't it?
Hey, what happened to Mercedes Carrera? Will Piper? Let's see.
Yeah.
Technically, stuff about it was all over my feed at the same time she disappeared, but I was like, well, I want to really, I want to really know, because everything that's all over my feed is mostly from people that are biased one way or the other.
Yeah. The unbiased question, because I don't care about Mercedes. Like I have no bias either way. The unbiased perspective on it that I can give you is she looks like she is in a lot of trouble, and I do not think she's going to get out of it.
Yeah, I unfortunately, because of this stuff and looking into it as much as I could, I learned some stuff, but I was just like, all right, you know what, like internet friends was cool and all, but I'm gonna have to step away from this name here.
A lot of people did, pretty much right off the bat. And
I waited a little bit before I stepped all the way away from like her name, because I was like, but she was really nice. But you don't know people.
Lucky Dragon 783 asked the important questions. Why does she have heat?
She has blood flowing through her veins, and we are natural. I saw the Matrix. We are batteries. We put off several BTUs of energy.
Yeah.
No. Legal heat though. She has been arrested for allegedly assaulting a minor, and I won't get into too many details beyond that, because it's
it is gruesome, the charges and allegations laid against her.
Yeah, and YouTube is not really friendly to that sort of content, and this isn't my channel, so I'm not gonna lay that out.
Well, it's just fine.
Yeah.
But when there's more information, I mean, her case will be moving along probably next month. I think June 22nd are when hearings open back up in LA. And her case will be moved to hearing very quickly, I would guess, because she's been held without the possibility of bail for a very long time. And then she was given an opportunity for like $1 million bail, and she doesn't have any money. So as soon as there's some updates in that case, I'll probably do a big show on it. So stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll be checking that out. You talk about that interview, and I'm thinking, oh Lord, I remember you having to go through those depositions.
Yeah. Sometimes it's pretty bad. But the jailhouse interview with her is just it's some guy interviewing her. It's not. I don't know that they end up getting into the full admissions or full accusations or anything in their interview. I'm only like 20 minutes into it.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. But it's kind of like you watch it up, take notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like here's a note. Wait a minute, kind of thing. Yeah.
I do not recall.
Yeah, when you're by the way, when you're being interviewed in jail and you're on like a phone device, it's recorded.
Yeah.
It is recorded.
Yeah.
So don't. How's that? Let me give that legal advice. If you're going to be interviewed in jail, don't.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
I bet you the state prosecutor's just looking through all that footage, just like, oh well, here we got this, we got this, here, oh, we can perjure her on this. Ugh.
Yeah.
Here's a Corono says he does not recall.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't. That coward.
But yeah, like moving on from that.
Can I do my thing? Yeah.
Huh?
Okay, my thing.
What
thing
thing?
I'm prepared for.
Do I need to bring it
this
on screen?
bearded motherfucker.
You want me to bring it on screen?
Bring what on screen?
Oh Jesus Christ, Mike!
I think we're having the stroke.
I think we saw it too, but I wanted to do my thing.
Oh, what the hell is? Okay. Oh.
Okay, so what is the most recognizable form of European armor, and why is it the lorica segmentata? You asked me to rephrase this question as 12 smaller sub-questions during our last deposition. I will admit that I was caught off guard by this request. However, I will have it be known by the court that I indeed filed an affidavit to do so, but it may have fallen through as a result of the court's close down due to the beer bug. So, we're here now following up this question rephrased as 12 smaller sub-questions. Are you aware of the concept of metallurgy?
I'm not familiar with the term metallurgy. Could you explain?
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
It is... Oh, Lord, now you cut me off. Metallurgy is the concept of heating up metal to change it in its various shapes for uses in weapons, armor, whatever.
Are you sure that's metallurgy and not blacksmithing?
Blacksmithing is also... Are you aware that blacksmithing is also a form of metallurgy?
I don't know. You're the one asking the questions.
Now, are you aware that European metallurgy has over 2,000 years of history?
No.
Okay, well. Are you aware that the Romans engaged in metallurgy as early as 753 BC?
I'm not aware of that.
Well then. Are you aware that iron has been used for armor?
What's iron?
Wow.
Iron is a material.
I'm loving the fact that a fake lawyer is trying to ask a real lawyer question.
Isn't it great? Are you aware that various styles of armor have arisen throughout Europe as a result of the Iron Age?
I don't know what you mean by Europe. Could you please explain and clarify what you mean by Europe?
All the way from Spain to where they start using potatoes instead.
All right, relevance.
This is
Ireland?
The world's supply of vodka may or may not come from.
Mm-hmm. Are you aware that the lorica segmentata is Latin for segmented cuirass?
I don't speak Latin. What am I, a lawyer?
Are you aware that the construction of the lorica segmentata involves leather straps attached to metal bands?
No idea. What metal bands? Like Metallica?
Are you aware that the Romans ruled an empire?
Wait, Mike, I got to interrupt the proceedings for a moment to say Eskimo Phono, thank you for the $4.99. And he says, here's my simp tax. So we appreciate that.
Thank you. Are you aware that the Romans ruled an empire that stretched from Hispania to Babylon, Britannia to Egyptus, and Mauritania to Albania?
I've never heard of any of those places. Are they in this weird place that you're talking about called Europe?
Oh man.
Because you mentioned Spain to Potato Land, and now you're talking about Babylon, Britannia, Gyptus. Gyptus. I don't even know what that is. I thought those were people who stole stuff from trailer parks.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Are you aware that Romans conquered such a large area of land thanks to their legions?
What are legions?
People possessed by demons.
14,
Oh, yeah, I heard about that in the Bible. Yep,
Yeah.
okay. I know what that is.
Are you aware that Roman legionnaires were equipped with their weapons and armor?
No.
Are you aware that
Who
armor?
equipped them?
The demons that they had. Come on.
We're
yes.
equipped as passive voice. This is weird.
Mhm. Are you aware
Finally,
that,
a jury duty that I'm not going to weasel out of. This is great.
are you aware that armor in question that they were equipped with is the lorica segmentata?
I don't even know what the lorica segmentata is.
Are you
If the
now
armor
aware?
does not fit, you must equit.
Are you now aware that the lorica segmentata is the most recognizable form of European armor thanks to the accomplishments of the Roman Empire and its legions?
I still don't know what it is. So no, I guess not.
I rest my case.
Well, I don't have to hear the defense. I'm not guilty because you don't know I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I just needed that bit of autism out.
He
Otherwise,
was so
it would
proud
have
of himself when he came in.
The map
He
was
was
good.
so-
I like the map.
Yeah, here's a map.
You were
there you
so
go.
proud of yourself when you came in. You're like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
No, I knew I was going to get fucking
Yeah,
stomped, but that's
Well,
that's
yeah,
the
but it was
point.
funny because a trained lawyer will know not to answer questions.
Oh,
Or
you know what? I completely forgot I had and haven't used.
What's that?
Objection!
Oh shit!
Damn it.
That might trigger Nick because didn't you? I was told you finally beat
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Phoenix, right?
Finally?
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for the stupid DLC, which I'm told is an even longer case. Oh Christ!
Wow.
Oh god, yeah, the extra case for number one.
Yes,
It's like way longer than the last one with Von Karma. It's like 5 or 6 days, and they introduce a feature that wasn't a new feature that wasn't in the rest of the game because you're partnered up with this forensic scientist.
is it one where the game isn't terrible? 'Cause that's the only feature I want.
I
Um,
remember early
it
on. when
might be because when this because it was introduced for the DS game, for the DS
Yeah.
version of the game. It was originally a Game Boy Color game, and there was like 2 of them.
Were the Game Boy
out
Colors
before they-
allowed with the other Game Boys? I don't know if that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Wow.
I mean, they came out later.
God,
They were
Japanese-
faster,
Well,
right?
Oh boy.
Well, we did have colored Game Boys before that, but they weren't in color. Am I allowed to say that? Oh God!
I don't know.
Anthony
I'm-
Siebert for $2 says, Nick, you need to do the DLC in 2 and 3, Nickly boy.
I would rather eat a pineapple whole.
Like without skinning it or anything. Just
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Like one, just shove it down into my throat.
Well, you can't-
Wow.
Okay. Have you even taken a look at some of the new things they add to like 2?
No. Why?
Because
No.
2 is where they introduced the psych locks.
The
oh yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's where
what?
you. Okay, so you essentially like cross-examine a suspect until
No. You do it while they're in jail.
or
waiting
before.
for trial,
right.
No, it's before.
That's what I'm saying.
Basically a bunch of psychic chains that only Nick can see because of a fucking magic pin he got from somebody will show up covered in locks, and each lock represents something that they're trying to hide, and you have to break every single lock to get them to admit what you're trying to get them to admit to.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, like the I fuck Japanese courts are silly. Oh God, they, as you can tell, it annoys the shit out of American lawyers so badly.
Well, I remember like when you first started playing it, you had so many issues.
Yeah. Well, it's not compatible with an American legal system in any sort.
Mhm.
It's also not compatible with being fun.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because I think one of the things that got you was like when you first time you did a case, he says, "Why are we going to trial the next day? What's going on?"
Yeah. Well, and I hate that I can't, because oftentimes you know exactly what fact you need to bring out, but it's like how you're supposed to bring that fact to the court's attention. Yeah, it's got to be the specific thing. Which, not to go down this path, but I've been watching a user experience game designer. Strategy productions on YouTube, and he talks about the user experience and like the difference between really effective RPGs and then modern RPGs like Fallout and stuff like that, which give you the illusion of choice and influence versus the original Fallout, which had actual choice and influence and consequences, right? And that's one of my big problems with Ace Attorney and these other visual novel games is that they're kind of this lazy. You have the appearance of choice in Ace Attorney, but it doesn't. The only impact is just whether you win or lose. But there are other ways to bring about the facts that you want. That you're just not allowed to present them in any way that would do it. So that's what annoys me about it.
Yeah. Distract Enemies asks Nick, would he rather play Ace Attorney or Fatal Frame? Must choose one.
I guess Fatal Frame, but I think both of them are horrible.
Oh boy.
Fatal Frame is actually pretty good, honestly. It's,
Everybody says that, and I hate it because I'm armed with a camera. That sounds just stupid.
Well, I mean, you are fighting ghosts.
No, I'm not. I'm not fighting ghosts. My dumb character is, and if I'm fighting ghosts, I'm going to be armed with something cooler than a camera.
Like a shotgun filled with rock salt, man.
Yeah, like a bunch of psychic chains that I ask questions to get past. That's what I'm going to arm.
But you can only do it because of the little special gem that your psychic ex-partner gave you.
Yeah, Mia's pendant.
Yeah.
Then it gets weird because
it gets weird.
Remember, the second game is when they bring in Pearl.
Oh God, no, not Pearl! Don't bring up Pearl. Stop. No, don't bring up Pearl.
Oh, that was the loli, wasn't it?
No, she was a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That Mia would every once in a while possess, and then she would become a 30-year-old woman.
Oh Jesus!
In a 10-year-old's dress.
Yes.
Wow.
Awkward.
Very.
Very awkward.
Prometheus Data asked, Nick, would you rather play the DLC or hold a conversation face to face with Marky for an hour?
Oh God. That's a tough choice. I think I'd take the DLC. Mostly the smell is the reason.
I would say you're kind of asked him what would he like better, rub his crotch up against a cactus or slam his dick in a door?
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no correct answer here.
Both, to avoid having a conversation with Jamie Markey.
That would just seem like it would be a very shrill conversation, in all honesty. Like, I mean, she already comes off as like one of the dumbest people on earth. But anyway.
Also that weird thing she does with her voice sometimes, like, when she talks.
Wait a minute. You know what that sounds like?
Oh, no.
You don't mean.
Yeah, this. Oh my gosh. For those who don't know, that was from a piece of a trailer from Antonio Bryce's brand Way of the Gun trailer. And I like Antonio, don't get me wrong, love him to death, but
Like him, book's good. That was
good, but that damn trailer with that damn like Let's see. Anthony Sieber for $5. Thank you so much. Says also your Steam, I guess he meant stream last night, Nick, was great. The voices.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm playing I started playing Mother Russia Bleeds.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a brutal game.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Good beat 'em up.
Oh God.
So
wait a minute, here we go. Ask Nick to do the Maya voice.
Maya or Maya?
It's Maya.
Yeah.
It's Corono can't type. That's why he didn't know it was Maya.
He's one of your regulars, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my mods.
Gotcha.
Always causing trouble.
Don't you love mods that just come in and cause trouble for you? It's like, oh, I made you a mod. Okay, cool. And then they just like, what are you doing? Stop.
Yeah. Hey, Corono, don't forget to press that like button.
Oh no!
Oh god.
There you go, buddy. That's for you.
Now Corono's pee-pee will become the big pee-pee.
Oh, now we're getting people coming on our stream to ask you what you're doing for your next stream.
Well,
For $2, you know him as Changus Khan. Where'd I get Khan from? Goddamn.
wow. So
Khan.
you can't read.
That's not Corono's fault. I can't cover for you anнимore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's my bad on that one. When's the next Tism stream with Dick Nicky?
I have to ask him. I gotta find the reason I haven't yet is because I'm not 100% sure when Drexel's coming back to my house, but I think it's going to be Thursday or Friday of next week if Dick agrees to come on. And there will not be a giant autismo brought on. There will just be me, Dick, and Drexel, and any pre-planned guests. No interim guests this time because the last show got kind of completely derailed.
Yeah, is that the one that you had to take down and then re-upload?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing a lot of shenanigans happened that you had to like get rid of.
Well, I had to bleep out my artist. My artist did. I don't know how to edit videos effectively. Like if I need to take off a segment of video, I can do that. Or split them. But if I need to like remove chunks or like bleep over stuff, I'm not really good at it. So my artist, I asked him to take out all of the instances of doxing. A guy doxed Dick Masterson's home address a couple times on stream. And then while he was in there, kind of like, getting an oil change and replacing the filter, I had him bleep out every time my impromptu guest used the F gamer slur. So the other F word that YouTube really, really hates.
Oh, is that the F and then the A?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the sixes. And then
then
the plus sign at the end.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see, Mr. Leon for 499. Thank you so much. Nick, what's your server's obsession with King of the Hill?
I don't know. Tell you what, if you're not obsessed with King of the Hill, maybe you should be.
I think it might be because of Ty Beard, honestly.
Probably.
Because King of the Hill's set in Texas. And Ty Beard's from Texas.
Well, I am too. And I know, like, I grew up with everybody on King of the Hill. Like, my grandpa's brother even talks exactly like Boomhauer, which is, people aren't really used to that. And
I have a friend, we call him Boomhauer because he talks just like Boomhauer. Like,
yeah. Hey, man, dang on, get on the Indians.
I think that's
what?
Texas
What are you?
I think that's not just a Texas thing, though. I think that's any southern state thing. Like, there's always going to be a Boomhauer somewhere in your social circle.
Well, yeah, and I think that the Boomhauer I think it's a mix of that Louisiana or Arkansas coming in with the Texan, because it's like it's got the thick Texas drawl, but also with like the speed talking southern weirdo.
Well,
it's great.
I'm telling you, man, dang old that southern accent, man. You got big old pace, man. They talk real fast down there. I don't understand, man. Dang old.
Yeah.
It is because when I was still living in Louisiana and I would go and visit family in Texas, they could understand me, but none of their friends could. And they said I was like Chick Boomhauer, and it's because you take the Texas accent, but then you speed it up like a Louisiana accent.
Yeah.
And so it's really difficult.
Yeah, but
apparently.
you also drop the bastardized French that is Creole.
Yeah.
Like that goes away while you're in Texas, but the speed and like Latin loopiness of it doesn't.
Exactly. Yes. Well put.
Yeah. Well, my mom's from Louisiana, so whenever we would go over there, I would like get out at a gas station to go to the bathroom, and this is before GPS, she would ask for directions somewhere, and I would just sit there bewildered. She's like, "Did you catch that?" It's like, "No." Can he speak words instead of just instead of just strange syllables and eldritch cants. This is not okay. But
oh no, he's speaking the Southern Black chant.
yeah, exactly. We're calling Cthulhu right now out of the swamps.
Right, and in Louisiana, like growing up in Louisiana, it's like a race. Like if you want anybody to pay attention to what you're saying, you have to be faster than everybody else to start talking, because I swear, like everybody just talks freaking at each other. They don't take turns.
Yep. Oh, it's good.
Like being on a live stream.
Yeah, kinda.
So it's like being on a live stream. Quick, say what you got to say real quick before somebody interrupts you.
A ding old fringly magulna for Cthulhu Riley. We got now for Fatagan.
I think
No, don't do that. No, you cannot. They shall not be named.
Did you just summon an elder god, Mike?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, Cthulhu Fatan, nigga.
No. No.
That was the elder god's cousin Reggie. That he
Oh, shit!
Micah Curtis says yes. Summon Cthulhu.
Oh, Micah's here.
Speaking of Micah, I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna show this because
Make sure to cast your vote.
Yeah. People need to know about this while they got a chance. And Piper, if you got the link to that, you could post it in the chat. I would appreciate it.
I don't. But
Yeah, on the spot right now. Boom, get it.
okay, I'll find it.
Give me just a second.
Oh God!
Earlier
fucking
on Mandy's
that's not
Summers
it.
channel, she was doing 22 questions with Micah Curtis. Nick, you know Micah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we decided that he was talking about his next tattoo, and we decided he needs to get a tramp stamp.
I agree.
And so what we did is we decided to do a poll, and so the choices are: he will get a Scott Steiner tramp stamp,
Okay.
a lawnmower tramp stamp, and since you'd only get so many words in a thing, it would be a Steiner on a lawnmower tramp stamp.
Sure.
Or you wouldn't know this, Nick, but Cab, per the graded 0.5 lore, he is our local gay man. So
Oh yeah.
So
he would get a tattoo of the local gay man on his lower back.
exactly.
Yeah.
Would the local gay man be looking down, like
Of course.
right, peering down towards the crack? I guess.
Yeah, because he wants
Naturally.
you got to know where he's going.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's a good chance he'll even have cat ears. So
Yeah, that's true because he likes to draw his cat boys.
This is a quote from Cab. I love men's penises and I would eat ass. Quote unquote.
That's
I still want the whole collection of him that being dubbed to different things.
yeah, exactly.
All strung together. Like I need that.
Yeah, so for $5, we got Morty J. Thanks. If you get Nick to say Cthulhu 3 times in Lemonhead's voice, and Eldridge Good gets a new tentacle. I think he meant God, obviously, but that's
Yeah.
But I
It's
love
true.
reading crap literally, because then it makes the person that super chatted feel like an idiot and never super chat again. So
yeah. I don't like I don't make fun of them too much, But I know some people who will read it exactly as it is written.
Yeah.
And
I try to interpret.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets worse that way.
He's like, "Is this what you meant?" And then they send you another super chat. No, dummy, that's not what I meant.
Exactly.
So yeah, let's see. But yeah, so moving on a little bit, we said we would talk about this. So I'm sure there's a lot of, and we haven't had a chance to talk about because we haven't been on much in the last couple months because we've been doing our Indiegogo campaign. But there's a certain video game developer
Yes.
who had a lot of their story elements from their recent game that will not be mentioned here.
Yeah, bad pooch.
Yeah, that got leaked. And I mean, when I say leaked, I mean a lot of it got leaked, like the entire thing, pretty much.
I mean, it wasn't like a shart; it was like diarrhea.
Yeah, it was just like
Yeah.
all over the internet.
Yeah, Al Roker would have had to throw himself in the trash instead of just his pants.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Yes.
But,
yes, I'm aware of this happening.
Yeah. And of course, I'm sure you've been keeping up with it a bit, but there is. So of course, people talked about it, and a lot, and those people who got talked about it, they first started getting copyright claims on their videos on YouTube, and eventually started getting actual copyright strikes.
Yes.
And in those situations, some of them have gotten their strikes removed because obviously they were not legal strikes because they're just commenting on the situation, not actually showing content or anything like that. But then do you know of a YouTuber named Just Some Guy?
Yeah, he was just struck like yesterday or today, right?
Yeah, but it happened. Oh God, I'm starting to sound like my old uncle. Now, what had happened was, what happened in his situation is he had a claim first, and then he got a strike, and it was by that Muso something Entertainment, which is just Sony's basically bulldog. Yeah,
it's a digital Muso. Because I ran into this with some of the people when I covered it, saying it's not these two companies, it's Muso doing it, and these companies have no idea what's going on. Yeah. Muso is a massive digital rights enforcement company employed by several very high-profile firms. One of them being Sony, who is the owner. Sony is also the owner of the studio in question. That is a direct subsidiary of Sony Interactive Entertainment. So just so everybody's pretty clear on that, Muso is a licensed agent for the owners of the material involved.
Yep.
So,
and the situation is that he got claimed, and then he got the strike. The strike got removed, and then they removed the claim. And right after they removed the claim, there was a new claim filed.
Yes,
for the same content.
Right. Yeah, I saw him mentioning that he got it overturned and then they just refiled it. Yeah. Sounds good.
From what he has interpreted it as, is basically it's like they're re-upping their claim. It's like they took it down just to get it back on there, essentially. Which, if that means if history repeats itself, then it will start. They'll also do a strike at some point.
You'd think they would. That would probably be their plan. I'm kind of curious if they're if they claimed the same exact stuff from the video. Do we know that for sure? Like if they claim
anything, they just claimed the video.
Yeah, they claimed the entire video. Yeah, that's what they did for the new.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of times when you do the copyright claim, you have to point out the infringing content, right? You have to say, you have the opportunity to do so. So I wasn't sure if like they hit seconds 32 through 2 minutes and 45 seconds in the first one, and then when that got taken down, they're like, oh well, actually, but section 4 minutes and 15 seconds to 6 minutes and 26 seconds, that's the next one. So I wasn't sure if they did it that way or if they claimed the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, I have to look at it again. He showed the screenshots, but I couldn't. I mean, I've got claims all up and down my channel. I just don't worry about them too much because they're just claims, and it's usually for music I played or something, which is like, yeah, fair enough,
Right.
But as far as that goes, and then this same company, the Muso, is also now doing DMCAs on Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the insidious one, because if you think YouTube is bad about DMCAs, Twitter is probably worse.
Yeah. One of our friends got a DMCA for a meme that was original content. It was not anything to do with that game or that that.
Yeah, I didn't use that game.
It was just a meme that was created because of that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that got DMCA'd.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Let's put it this way. Apparently, there is a choking meme going around. Not saying where it's from, but apparently it's very popular right now.
I'm so glad.
So shouldn't that be double jeopardy? No, that would be in court. So I don't think that's.
No, it's.
It would be. I guess because apparently just some guy is talking. He is going to pursue legal action.
Oh, because technically what they're doing is a crime.
Yeah. Well, the lawyer's here, so he can spell it out.
Yeah, well, I kind of covered this today in a video I did about DSP.
Okay.
Because it's a different situation there. A guy has been going after DSP's detractor restreamers, right?
Mhm.
Like Lightside Bill and another guy, Mr. BTFO. And so he was issuing false DMCA claims on behalf of Phil, but without Phil's permission. And now Phil may actually have copyright claims on them because, you know, they're just, if they're just retaking his whole stream and re-uploading it, you know, that and doing nothing else, then that's probably a copyright claim. You know, Phil owns that content. So I don't know whether or not that's actually going on or what the extent is, or if they clip it. I don't know. But I know this guy was doing that, and then Phil called him out. And so the reason that that's kind of important is when you file your copyright claim, you're making a statement under oath as part of a legal process that you are doing this in good faith and considering a full fair use analysis on the content that's done in good faith as well. You have to determine that you believe genuinely that this is not a violation, or that it is not protected under fair use, and that it is a violation of your rights. So the problem with for individuals, that's kind of tough, right? Like I'm not a copyright specialist by any means. I'm a lawyer who can read some cases, but you guys can all read cases too. Yeah. If we're trying to do a copyright claim, we can look at the fair use factors. We can go through the YouTube college that tells you, you know, the basics of fair use, and we can try and make a determination. We can put a good faith thing that says, you know what, we did this and this and this, so we believe that they stole our content. Okay. Sony is a massive firm with a huge legal department and a long history of content copyright issues, both for and against them. They're intimately familiar, and they're hiring a digital rights specialist in Musso to do this for them. So for them to put down under oath that they did a good faith fair use analysis, and for them to strike down stuff that involves, you know, images from games that aren't even Sony properties, because I remember that happening at one point and stuff like that. It shows that they're pretty much not doing it. Now, whether or not that's criminal, I mean, technically it could be perjury. You're probably not going to see any charges for something like that, just because of the way things work out. But there could be some serious civil repercussions. And if just some guy's going to sue him, I hope he does. I hope he does, because it would be really monumentally funny to see Sony get buckled by doing this and end up having to pay him a big punitive award for abusing DMCA.
Yes, I definitely like to see Sony eat shit.
Could you get a bigger case by turning it into a class action lawsuit for all the people that have been affected by their memes being DMCA'd?
I asked my buddy who is an IP specialist about that, and he wasn't aware off the top of his head of any class action claims for it. But let me humbly suggest that class certification in federal court is difficult. There's some number of people you have to have. It's not clear from the rules how many that is, but you may have to have more than, say, 50 people. And that's quite a few. When you consider content creators being struck, you have to get all of those 50 people to come together, and you have to pick a class representative. And the class representative, that's the guy whose butt's on the line. And the end result of the class action lawsuit is that you're probably not going to get any money. Your lawyers are going to get paid really well if they win, but you're not going to get anything out of it. Would it be a stronger claim? Maybe, but fair use analysis is very fact specific. And that's the hard part. Sorry, I'm getting back to it. That's the second hard part about certifying a class, is that the claims have to be uniform enough, in fact, that the classes are all together. For example, there was an attempt to do a class action lawsuit against Bayer for some aspirin that they sold, or some aspirin-like drug that they sold a long time ago. And all of these people got injured in the same ways from the same drug. But the court said, and when we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands, right? But the court said, no, this can't be a class action because some of these people are taking different medications, they're different ages, stuff like that. The fact questions are different as to what's causing it, even though everybody agreed that Bayer was the one, that medicine was the one causing the problem. The amount of damage that they all suffered was different and stuff like that. That's a similar problem to the false copyright claims, is that even if you get enough people for the class, you're going to have to argue that their bad good faith analysis or whatever, their bad faith analysis or lack of analysis entirely was the same for every single person. But it can't be, because you have different content. So it makes it really complicated and might derail your entire case before you get it off the ground.
So it's essentially like you could either do a class action and try to hit it with a baseball bat and get less of a possible outcome, or maybe do like death by 1,000 needles.
I was gonna say, yeah, so just have everybody sue individually, because the content on each one that they're flagging is different for each person too.
That's
so
true.
yeah, if they get hit with a whole bunch of lawsuits, they're gonna have their hands tied, if nothing else. Like,
yeah,
a lot more.
Of course, they can also, I mean, I don't know. I forgot. I mean, it's, I have never. I'll be honest. I never looked into it. I look into things as things come up, as they say. And
yeah.
I don't know. It wouldn't be, because Sony couldn't force them into being a class action. I don't think.
No, I don't think Sony would want a class action either, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Because then it becomes those, and I always joke about this because you see them like my dad watches Westerns on these like weird channels, like, Cowboy Channel or whatever. And you've probably seen those commercials like, have you experienced this and that after taking so-and-so? Well, and then I can just imagine like, did you ever play this video game and talk about it on the internet and then get DMCA by Sony Entertainment?
Yeah. And all of the people still watching TV are like, what's a PlayStation?
Exactly.
I like
Did you
when
get DMCA to get diagnosed with mesothelioma?
I like when I randomly get the email that goes, "Hey, there was a class action lawsuit for this, and you won like $1.50." And I'm like, I don't remember being. I mean, yes, I have that app or whatever it is. I'm like, but I don't remember suing anybody.
Dude, I got one of those things, and this was like, and I will admit this, I did it. This was definitely out of spite, right? Because I was dealing with this thing one time, and I think it was a collections agency, and they were trying to collect on something I already paid. And,
Dude, I have one doing that.
And then they got a class action against them, and I got a card in the mail that said, if you sign this card, you could get money. I said, I don't care if I get 50 cents.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like fuck those guys.
Purely out of spite at this point. You know what I mean? It'll take more for you to send me the money with the stamp than it will me to, for whatever money I get. So, but I don't care. I just want to make them suffer in some way. But see, what upgraded in rackets? The rackets. So, real quick, because I don't want to. Are you doing a show tonight? Because I don't want to keep you too long. If you're,
I am doing a show tonight. We're going to be talking about. How do I say this guy's name? I cannot pronounce the guy's name. Ahmaud Arbery.
Shit. Oh shit!
What is going? What?
Put that down.
I was trying to do something. I accidentally touched the screen. Oh my god! Scared the shit out of me.
That's all the buttons.
Anyway, Ahmaud Arbery is the guy who was in Georgia, who was originally billed as a guy just jogging through a neighborhood that was shot by two honkies or whatever. And maybe I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen anything to particularly suggest that this killing was racially motivated. But anyway, so I've got the guy, Andrew Branca. He's a lawyer, and he wrote the book called The Law of Self-Defense, and he runs a blog, Law of Self-Defense, and very, very respected self-defense lawyer. I've got him coming on tonight to talk about the case and what specific legal aspects are going to matter down there in Georgia. So should be a cool show. it's always great when you get to talk to someone who's a full-on specialist.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. But yeah, that's why I'm glad you brought that up because in fact I was responding to a tweet about that the other night, and it's gotten to the point I think we can all agree we always have this situation where everybody wants to jump to a conclusion.
Yeah.
Instead of
with little information.
with as very little information as possible, right?
Right.
You hear, black kid gets gunned down. Well, he was in his 20s, so he's not a kid, and I'm not justifying anything. Just putting my hands up, saying, "Nope, look at me." Now, the one thing I've always said, and this goes back to me, I guess I just kind of got that old West mentality. Is like it looks really bad when you're when you shoot somebody who was unarmed.
Yeah.
That always looks bad.
It does.
And so it's going to take a lot of information to come out for people to think a different way about that.
Yeah.
And I don't, and that's not involving a race or creed or anything like that. But anyway, I just wanted to say that real quick. But let me real quick, so let you roll on out the highway. I know that Vic's case is still in appeals, right?
Yes, his reply to the response is due in 6 days.
Okay.
So that will be the next major thing in the case is when that reply comes back or comes in, and then after that, technically, Ron and Monica are entitled to a reply to that one on just the fee issue. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if they decide to do one or not. They may not want to do a reply. They may not have any need to do, or they may not feel the need to. But
they don't have any money.
Are they still trying to get that sweet GoFundMe money?
Yeah, they certainly are. Unfortunately, I spent it all in Aruba on Pokemon cards covered in cocaine.
Hell yeah!
So there aren't any more dollars in it. It all went to me.
Oh no, not the dollar dues.
It went right up my nose, which if you've ever seen a picture, you can bet your derriere it all fit up there just fine.
I went and turned the soundboard off.
I'm going to say for wait a minute, I got something for that, Piper. Wait a minute. There you go. Here we go. Classic.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
But yeah, I will say just for everybody listening, especially to the people who think they we finally got that rackets. No, he's joking. Just FYI.
I never have joked in my entire life. Everybody just assumes I am, and I roll with it.
It's like, oh, that sounds right. Okay, yeah, fine.
Yep.
So that situation. Is there anything going on? I mean, I in fact I saw last night I was watching Ethan Van Sciver, and Richard Meyer was on there for a little while, and I was wondering about his case. Have you heard anything new about that, or is that just kind of sitting there for a while?
It's sitting there for a while. Part of it is coronavirus. The other part is the parties are just at a stage in the case where everything is just going to kind of move really slow. Mm-hmm. And I'll say that hoping that it'll prove wrong. But it's just at this. They've both said that alternative dispute resolution is not likely a solution in this case. So they do plan to proceed with the court process. And that was filed just on April 24th. So now that that's done, I think we have until August of this year for discovery to occur. Although I would almost suspect that there might be some extensions on that because of coronavirus putting the entire country out of work for 2 to 3 months. Mm-hmm. There may be some extensions there, but it's got a long way to go, and it's in a period of time where there's just not going to be anything public. There'll be lots of behind the scenes emails and stuff back and forth, but what we'll actually see from it on our end will probably be minimal.
Okay.
So.
And I want to also, I don't know if you heard or not, but apparently Mark Waid is now a right-wing neo-Nazi.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
he apparently opened a. I don't know if he did it or if it was like he's a part of it now, but he apparently opened
He's on.
a crowdfund on Indiegogo. And of course, if you hear any of the crazy comic professional SJWs, anybody who opens a crowdfunding on Indiegogo, they're obviously a right-wing neo-Nazi.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That was
Mark,
according to him, even.
Mark is pasty enough,
Yes,
so I think that'll work.
and bald.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
Yeah,
bald.
so he's a skinhead already.
Yeah. Let's see. We got $5 from Cyron Jag. Back Peregrine. That's our Indiegogo campaign. Thank you so much. It's the only way Piper's bloodlust can ever be slacked. She just found a Bible study for kids. There was no survivor. Piper, what did you do?
I don't.
Not the orphans.
He was just visiting for the summer. Why?
Yeah, I'm not sure why. This is the story now, but it's pretty funny, so I'm going with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're now a werewolf vampire something.
I think it's still the werewolf thing.
Oh God, the Sunday school massacre. Oh God.
They didn't find most of them.
Nice. So we'll probably start. Oh yeah, there you go. I for one welcome our Waid Ubermans. I don't think anybody's ever going to accuse Mark Waid of being the perfect human specimen.
Oh, poor Mark.
I don't have my womp womp because I turned it off because I freaked myself out accidentally pushing.
If only Mark Waid didn't, try to ruin people's lives all the time. Maybe people would be more sympathetic.
It's a shame when you actively try and ruin someone's life and people notice, and then suddenly you like want money and stuff like that from people, and they're like, hey, wait a minute, maybe you should just not have tried to actually destroy someone. Maybe that would have been a good plan. They're like, no, what are you talking about?
Well, it's kind of like I don't know.
Actions have consequences. That's not fair,
Right?
And I'm sure he is one of these people in this cadre who told this guy. You've heard of the artist Sean Gordon Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Of course, and you know about the situation you have with Doug Knaple, and that.
Yep.
Okay. Now, a couple weeks ago, Sean Gordon Murphy put a video out, and I think it was on Instagram. I might be wrong. I can be corrected. But anyway, he put a video out. He was talking about, doing his old crowdfunded book, which a lot of comic book people are probably thinking about because they don't have work right now, so.
Right.
And he was told by people in the industry, I don't think you should do that right now. It's not a good look.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. And I was like, and he said, these are friends of mine. I'm like, any friend that tells you not to make money is not your friend.
Yep. Not at all.
And
they're not interested in you doing well.
Yeah. They basically want you out of the way so they can make money.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're under the impression, well, granted, I get it. It's we're under a global pandemic kind of thing, and money is, for some people, money is tight, and I agree. I can see that, but they're looking at it like the pie is shrinking. Only we can get that money. You can't have that money, so don't do it, and we'll shame you into doing it. Shame you into not doing it. That's essentially.
Yep. Oh, it's a mess, and no one should listen to these people when they say let's not do that right now. Look, if you're going to start a campaign. If people have money, they'll back you. If they don't have money, they'll back you later when they do. I mean, that's what you got to do.
I'll say Ethan's kind of proved out. I think he's like, just tonight he's closing in on 900,000. So
yeah, he's doing very, very well on his campaign.
I will say, when we started ours, I was a little bit leery about starting one during this time, but as they said, the fans proved me wrong. So thank you. That's what I tell them. I said, well, thank you for what you supported us and stuff. But Shawnee 7488 says, what if Mark Waid just did it by accident? Oops. He's like, I'm sorry, I accidentally called the owners of Antarctic Press.
I had no idea where they were, what number I was dialing. Someone else dials phone. You guys dial your own numbers. You don't have an assistant. Oh my god.
Oh god, So he's the anti-Blizzard. You know, Blizzard said like you don't have phones.
You guys have
I hope-
phones, right?
I hope Mark Waid's Indiegogo like campaign or whatever is just a video saying, "Look, if you don't have $5 to give to my comic book, then I don't even want you clicking on my Indiegogo. What are you even doing here? You should be out getting a job if you don't have $5 to my Indiegogo."
The e-girl Mark Waid.
Yeah.
That was a very, very good impression of Mark Waid. He's just a little like idiotic little cornball, isn't he? Just like
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I read the story, and this was like even before this stuff happened with Meyer, but I read the story that I think it was, I forgot the name of the company, that he would just like come to work and just get on the floor in the middle of the office and start screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard
he was throwing break shit.
I heard he like rolled around on the ground like a toddler, throwing a tantrum and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, because like the guy who told the story said like, yeah, I came to work and early one day, and here's Mark Waid on the ground just crying, and throwing a tantrum like Tarzan, started throwing and breaking shit. And they says, why did y'all let him do that? And they said, oh, he does that every morning. I was like,
if I was Mark Waid, I would do that every fucking morning because
if I was Mark Waid, I think
Because I was Mark Waid.
I think if it was Mark Waid, I'd just end my suffering at this point.
I'd eat as many comic books as I could before I left the earth. That's it. Just
there you go.
Just shove them down. Don't chew. Just keep shoving.
That's a very good point. You guys don't have your morning tantrum? I mean, after the age of 4, I kind of stopped. I mean, granted, I don't
be frowned upon.
And granted, I don't want to get up in the morning,
especially in the workplace. Yeah, you're kind of supposed to have them at home, I think.
Yeah. Don't. Can you imagine? Like, you get up in the morning, you take a shower, you get some breakfast, you go to work, and then have your tantrum.
Right?
That's ridiculous. I have tantrums the entire time. That's what I do.
There you go. See, you're consistent though, Nick. That's how you do it. Just be consistent about it. You know.
Yeah.
I have mine when I'm still in bed. It's less tantrum and more just like whining.
Yes, I don't want to get up.
No, you stupid alarm clock, you're wrong.
I've had those moments where, like, you're sleeping good, and I usually have my phone next to me, and as soon and then the phone rings, and I'm like, oh. And I'll look at it, it's like some 800 number or something, or like, let's see. Yeah. Prometheus Zeta says, these people are fictional characters who found their way past the fourth wall. That's a good point. Micah Curtis says, I'm an op-ed writer. I get paid to have tantrums. And I want to remind everybody, Mark Waid works for RT, so he's also a commie.
Yes.
There you go. Shawnee says, look, Mark Waid is a genius, you guys. You guys wouldn't understand. He's right up there in the artistic spectrum.
Oh, no.
Is that what they're calling it now?
I know that feel. But apparently I'm higher functioning than he is.
Look, I just have a couple of days maybe where I might get a little salty, right? Like,
yeah.
But that's so maybe he hears sad tuba music when he walks in the door every day. What if that's it? Like, it was really one of his coworkers fucking with him every day. He just
Stop.
Leave me alone. Why do you keep doing this to me?
What did I do to you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know
Fix this, Ethan. Fix it now. Fix it.
Mata has a point. A good one, too.
That may explain why so many of them openly admit not knowing the difference between fantasy and reality. Well,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I think people who are involved in daily involved in the business of superheroes. Mm-hmm. We're talking people on the Hollywood sets, the anime voice actors and actresses. I would say superhero writers and artists. I think they can definitely start to get into a headspace where they do think, and you see it coming through in their tweets, right? Like they think they're saving the world with their superhero books. And it's crazy. Like when you look at the Marvel execs or whatever and how they talk about their life. It's like, look, you just draw pictures. I mean, you draw pictures better than me, but I do data entry better than you. So it's like, and I'm not saving the world. I'm just doing a job, and so are they. But they get in this thing, and I think that's where art becomes this weird place where artists believe that they are the catalyst for some sort of social revolution or statement, and they are, but not because they want to be. Like, that's not how art works. Art works backwards. You don't propel society into a better place by your art. It's society discovers your art and finds out that it's not the place it thought it was and changes. That's how that works. And so these people are trying to, they're like, oh my God, all these famous artists really did all this great stuff. But the Renaissance wasn't the Renaissance until hundreds of years later. Right. Like that's how this stuff goes. But they're like, no, we can do it intentionally. No, that's what commies say. Stop it.
Well, it's kind of like with memes that we're seeing. Like, you can force a meme. The issue is that when you force a meme, sometimes it doesn't become a meme the way you want it to. Sometimes it does. But other times, a meme, you have no idea what's going to become a meme until it's a meme.
Right.
Yeah.
Just brought out, like what Shawnee said, EVS has said many times that people working working comics are overgrown children.
That seems to be.
It reminds me of something. And like I said, we'll kind of wind down here, but there was a time. This was in 2016, so you know who just got elected. And at this point, there was people. I think that Beyonce announced she was having twins. Was it Beyonce or somebody else? I can't remember which one it was. Might have been. I think it was Beyonce. And there were tweets online, and this is how like warped some people's like senses are, as far as the real world goes. They said the fact that Beyonce is having twins at this time means that her twins are going to grow up to be just like Luke and Leia, and they're going to take down the evil that is Donald Trump. And
I remember that shit. Yeah.
So 2 things on that. So 1, you're admitting that Donald Trump is the father of Beyonce's twins,
right?
And 2, you do know that by the time, if he gets both terms, that they would be 8. So,
yeah.
No, they don't.
Doing a lot in those like 8 years.
They don't know math. Math is not a thing.
Also, those awkward teen years when they get caught making out. You're setting these kids up for failure, man. You don't realize what you're asking for.
Yeah. That's it just like that blew my mind. And it's like always been that case. It's like, you see those tweets all the time. I'm sure it's like, so-and-so is like Voldemort and we're the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah. You're not Harry Potter.
You're not Harry Potter. You don't have little wands that can grant your wishes and all this other dumb bullshit. You're somebody who should probably go out and get a damn job and, work for a living and not worry about like what somebody else is doing in the world,
Yeah.
Because there are people right now. I mean, there are people in the United States who don't know who the president is. They didn't know who the president was 8 years ago. They didn't know who it was 20 years ago. Why? They're too busy doing shit.
Damn.
I've literally ran into like an older person one time. Like, hey, do you know who the president is? I don't give a shit.
Well, that's what that whole jaywalking segment was on Leno, right? He'd walk around New York just asking who these people are. And I mean, some of them you might not know, but if you watch the news, you'd know most of them. Yeah. And I mean, the vice president, the president, they're like, is that the guy from Arby's or whatever? Yeah. No, that's the guy who knows your Arby's order before you do. That's who that is. Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to, like I said, we'll go ahead and wind down for tonight. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I'm going to do a quick little shill for our little campaign here for our superhero comic, Peregrine Wings of the Falcon, currently sitting at $20,895. I want to thank everybody who has backed it so far. I believe the link is also in the description below, and people have been sharing in the chat. We really appreciate you guys for coming along and on this journey with us, and all that good stuff. But like I said, I didn't want to like take up too much time about it because we have
lots of goodies for the backers who've been unlocked and stretch goals already if you get in there fast.
And I want to point out this one because I think Nick might be familiar with this. I don't know if you remember that book, Deadbeats.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we got a 34,000 stretch goal that says we beat deadbeats. That's all it is. We just
Yeah, help them get there, guys. Oh my goodness, beat deadbeats.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
please,
that's the mark of
please.
a truly successful campaign if you can get past deadbeats. And it would take $34,000. We beat deadbeats, and then of course we'll actually do something with it. We'll make
We're gonna
we'll make
unlock
the quality of
more
the comic
stuff.
better and all that good stuff. So.
Why don't you play the trailer for like the names that we have that aren't normally here because they came here for Nick? Maybe they will like it.
Oh yeah, yeah. They might like our awesome voiceovers and stuff.
Our little cool trailer.
Is that cool with you?
How do I get my Preston Acevedo cover?
That's coming.
Easy, yeah.
That's coming soon. Preston Acevedo is coming very soon. So
Wow.
there we go. I'll go and play this real quick. What happened to our heroes?
I used to think my father simply decided that the world needed Silver Falcon more than I needed my dad.
Can anyone step up?
Your heroes are dead.
Can the world endure
They're gone.
without the icon? Is there anyone left who can take up his mantle?
How did I only realize now how wrong I was?
48 full-colored pages of superhero action.
And what path should I choose? Going forward.
A return to the kind of comics that we know and love.
I'm ready.
Featuring illustrations by Douglas Franchi, who has worked on X-Men Blue and Halo Escalation. Interior colors by Farah Nurmaliza of Door Kickers, Super Harem, and College of the Dead 2.
Now available on Indiegogo. And that was that.
Nice. I like the dramatic outro.
Oh yeah, that was
That gets me every time.
our little Venezuelan boy Caleb was trying to be Kino. He said, "I want to make a Kino trailer." I said, "Go for it, fam." He got it. He nailed it. But yeah, thank you so much, Nick, for coming on tonight. We really appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we, obviously go check out. I think he's going live in a little while here, so go check him out on his channel because that's actually an interesting subject that I really want to check out.
Anonymous.
This guy here is what's with the stream now. Well, Nick broke parole and had to have a hearing about it. And I will say that you are off parole now. You are a free man.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so you can go about and do what you want and all that good stuff. So you're good to go. Because like I said, your holy nemesis who you didn't know who he was, apparently gave up. So.
Oh yeah, that I still don't know who that is.
Just turn in your ankle bracelet to the clerk on your way out.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep it.
Okay, you can keep it, but we'll just deactivate it from remotely.
Thank God.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, thank y'all so much for checking us out tonight. We really appreciate all the new viewers and everything, all the new subscribers. Thank y'all so much. And I like that. Sorry, Nick is a free man, but is he Morgan Freeman? That's a tall tale. But y'all have a good one, and we will see y'all next time. Y'all have a good night, and like I said, go check out Nick on his channel.
Can I come up?
Thanks, guys.
Dad, can I come up?